Good morning. Volcanic activity. An island in the Philippines is on high alert after a volcano erupts, causing more than 50,000 people to flee. This morning, a look at the impact of the volcano.
Tick-tock. Amid rising nuclear tensions, the Science and Security Board has moved the doomsday clock 30 seconds closer to midnight. Coming up, we'll break down what that means.
And Rocket Man. Elton John announces his farewell tour. The details coming up at Trending.
Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal weather with Nathan, Tanner, Emerson, Katie, and Ballant, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
And good morning, you're looking live at McKinley Avenue. That's the bell tower you're seeing right in that shot. 38 degrees, actually sunny skies outside. Meanwhile, back inside the Ball State Weather Center, I'm Tanner Holbrook, alongside Ballant Salavari.
I'm Emerson Lehman.
And I'm Katie Parker. Thanks for joining us.
Guys, we have a great show. It's a brand new semester, beautiful day outside. How we doing?
Beautiful day outside.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, really that's been the story so far. You know, it's definitely feeling a lot warmer outside. So going off of that, I mean, temperatures are already above the freezing point. So going off of that, we're going to go ahead and work into the current temperatures outside here in Muncie. I really wish our camera were showing just how beautiful it is outside. Really, we can't even illustrate the morning sunrise. Plenty of orange skies throughout the entire morning, and really sunny skies. 39 degrees out the door with winds south at 11 miles per hour, making it feel like 32 degrees here in Muncie. And elsewhere across the state of Indiana, good morning to those folks in Indianapolis. Just at the freezing point right now, 32 degrees in Indianapolis, 39 degrees in Bloomington. When we do factor in those wind chills, though, temperatures do feel a little bit colder. Feels like temperature of 33 degrees in Bloomington and 32 in Lafayette. Now, as the past 24 hours have ensued, we've seen temperatures drastically work their way up. So you can already see throughout much of the state of Indiana, above 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, 12 degrees warmer than this time yesterday here in Muncie, and 9 degrees warmer than this time yesterday in Indianapolis. Now, as the day, or further your morning commute, we're going to go ahead and give it a green light. So those clouds are going to work their way out from the overnight. And you can see plenty of sunshine all the way through 10 a.m. We're going to work all the way up to 42 degrees by the 10 a.m. So great conditions as you head on out to work. And for the remainder of the day, temperatures are going to work their way up to a high of 54 degrees by the 4 o'clock hour. Note these winds are going to start to increase from the south-southwest. Those southerly winds are going to play on in later in the forecast, and I'll break that down here in just a few minutes. 45 degrees for the overnight low tonight. 30% chance for overnight showers, and those winds continuing to ramp on up. So for the overnight hours, we'll see cloudy conditions start to set in around 1 a.m. this morning. This is going to be because a front's going to work its way through early on through the morning hours. You can see some isolated showers work their way in farther south towards Connersville, and a few more isolated showers by the 9 o'clock hour starting tomorrow morning. And then for the next 5 days, note how I said those southerly winds are important. That's allowing for warmer tropical air to work into the region. That's leading for these above average temperatures. Sunday 45, we're going to reach a high of 49 degrees tomorrow. And note that the average for this time of year is only 34 degrees. So in addition to that, that extra tropical air is allowing for more moisture to work its way into the region, causing our rain chances to increase for Saturday. A 60% chance for rain on Saturday. These Friday and Sunday 20% chancers are in association with that front that's going to work our way through. So let's go ahead and break that down right now. This low pressure system is going to drop its way down from the Dakotas, working in to the central Indiana region by Saturday at 4 a.m. here. This is that cold front that's going to bring showers ahead of it, and that's going to work its way further east as the afternoon progresses. Some widespread showers further south, but behind it we'll see clearing conditions ensue for the latter half of the weekend. However, with these clearer conditions, we're going to see temperatures drop down. So in the 7-day forecast, you can see here by Sunday, temperatures start to drop down. Monday, 15-degree temperature difference between Sunday and Monday. And then we're going to have a roller coaster 7-day forecast following that, working back up to 47 by Wednesday, 41 for Thursday, and then drop back down to 24 by Friday.
All right, Ballant, thanks so much. Now turning to some important space news. Our world has a lot of interesting jobs, but a professor from Indiana University has a very unique title from NASA, and it's pretty hard to beat. Lisa Pratt has been named NASA's Planetary Protection Officer and is the 8th officer in the history of NASA. Pratt will be tasked with the responsibility of saving other planets from alien species. This includes potential microorganisms that could live in the ice or groundwater of Mars. Pratt will begin her position at the agency's Washington, D.C. headquarters beginning on February 5th. Guys, such a cool honor that, you know, it's IU. You never hear anything like that coming out of IU, but there you go. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I think this is a
very
huge honor.
exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost like a real-life Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know, it's right here in our own backyard, right down in Bloomington. Very cool.
Super cool story. Well, moving on, rising temperatures in the Arctic seem to have revived a previously dead virus. An anthrax virus that killed a herd of reindeer came back to life after the frozen carcasses thawed, causing an outbreak. However, as far as zombie viruses go, anthrax is an isolated case. Anthrax is notorious for hibernating in any sort of climate and then suddenly coming to life in the proper conditions. While infections like smallpox and influenza can be preserved in their frozen victims, without a warm body to thrive, they quickly die, ruling out any possibility for an outbreak of zombie viruses in the permafrost.
And some Americans can look forward to seeing what NASA is calling a lunar trifecta next week. That's when people in the western part of North America will be able to view the super blue blood moon. This full moon is special for 3 reasons. The moon is closer to Earth in its orbit and 14% brighter than usual. And 2, it's the second full moon of the month, commonly known as the blue moon. And finally, this super blue moon will pass through Earth's shadow for a lunar total eclipse. While in the Earth's shadow, the moon will take on a reddish tint. That's known as the blood moon. People living in the West Coast or Alaska or Hawaii will be able to see all this before sunrise on January 31st.
The storm chase community remains in mourning following the passing of legendary storm spotter Joel Taylor. Taylor formerly starred in Discovery Channel's Storm Chasers television show from 2008 to 2012 with co-star and friend Reed Trimmer. Trimmer went to Twitter saying, quote, "I am shocked and absolutely devastated by the loss of my friend. I wish we could just have one more storm chase." As a tribute, Spotter Network Chasers lit up the western Oklahoma sky with his initials, a traditional send-off in the community.
Very sad news there. Very cool tribute for him, though. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Well, anyway, coming up, the southern part of the United States isn't the only one facing an unusual cold winter. We'll tell you another place that's dealing with unusually low temperatures.
And guys, we know that volcanoes can be very dangerous. We'll have a look at a very active site in Indonesia right after your weather now.
All right, welcome back. You're looking live at the Scramble Light. Still 38 degrees outside, sunny skies. Meanwhile, back here in the Ball State Weather Center, we're turning now to this story. This winter so far, we experienced our fair share of cold temperatures. However, in Tokyo, Japan, the first cold weather warning was issued by the Japanese Meteorological Agency for the first time in 30 years. Temperatures in the capital dipped down to -8 degrees Celsius in the morning, which is about 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Disrupted train services and employees going home early were all outcomes of the cold snap. This weather for Tokyo is on the heels of a precedented-setting snowfall earlier this week, which has been the heaviest snowfall in 4 years. Wow. Cold temperatures are still to come as lows could drop to -4 Saturday as a low pressure will remain in the place through the weekend.
A recent study at Columbia University has finally cracked the seismic fingerprint of tropical cyclones. In the study, Lucia Gualtieri says that tropical cyclones can be detected by blips recorded on the seismometers. Ambient noise from the seismometers are what Gualtieri and her associates at IU have determined is the key to determining hurricane severity in the future. This seismic fingerprint, like this one, which is from Hurricane Sandy actually, come the waves and the pressure differences between the surface and the ocean floor. These small vibrations are enough to be recorded in the ambient noise on a seismometer.
Very cool story there, Katie. Thank you. Moving to the Philippines, since Monday afternoon, more than 56,000 people have fled the Philippine island of Luzon when a volcano erupted in its Albay province. The volcanic activity is from Mount Mayon, the Philippines' most active site, which last erupted in 2013, killing 5 hikers. Residents within 5 miles of the site have been evacuated. Authorities have raised their alert level from a 4 to a 5 as they project a hazardous eruption within days. Evacuation teams are actively urging those left to leave as ash blankets the skies and villages. Locals continuously return to the danger zone to check on their properties. And within the past 500 years, Mayon has erupted 50 times. The site still remains widely populated to this day. And now Ballant will explain in a bit more detail the science and implications, of this eruption. Ballant.
Well, we're here with a brand new segment called Breaking Down the Science. So with those volcanic activities, we could oftentimes associate that with some trade winds. So what really trade winds are these areas of circulation within the globe divided into certain cells. So the main one here that we're going to be focusing on are the main trade winds here associated with Hadley cells. So with volcanic activity, a lot of times these trade winds pick up the volcanic ash that's ejected into the atmosphere, and that carries it a long way throughout much of the globe. And that could also play an effect with this volcano that we just saw erupting earlier this week. And even so, volcanic activity and spreading it across the globe has been dated back to over 200 years. In the year 1816, it was dubbed the year without summer. This is because in 1815, Mount Pinatubo in Indonesia erupted, and that ejected a lot of volcanic ash into the atmosphere, and these trade winds carried it far across the globe, so much that here in the United States, temperatures were over a degree under average for that time of year. In July, they were seeing snowy conditions and temperatures in the lower 30s. And surprisingly enough, one of the contributing factors to that year without a summer was the same exact volcano, Mount Mayon, erupted in 1814, contributing to that. And with winds, we oftentimes associate two words, lee and word, on the ending. So when we discuss southerly winds, that indicates the direction that that wind is coming from. So southerly winds means that the winds are coming from the south. And then when we talk about northward or southward, that indicates the direction that those winds are moving. So a northward wind would mean the winds are moving to the north. So that's just a little snippet of breaking down the science. So hopefully you gained a bit of information pertaining to trade winds and how those trade winds oftentimes associate with volcanic activity.
Well, thank you very much, Ballant, for that. Coming up, your favorite tiny dancer is having a worldwide farewell tour.
And a favorite fried chicken place, is soaring to new heights. All that and more after your weather now.
You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
Welcome back. You're looking at the College of Health this morning. Meanwhile, back inside the Ball State Weather Center, time to take a look at what's trending now.
Well, you know how we love our food here at Cardinal WX.
We do.
Love it.
Everyone is very excited that KFC is now selling a chicken wing box that can be made into a drone, but this is just in India. Take a look. The fast food chain designed a container that can be reused to build an actual Bluetooth-connected drone. KFC is giving these rebuildable boxes away on January 25th and 26th with the purchase of an order of smoky grilled wings. You can view the instructions online and even download the drone remote control app. So if any of our viewers are in India right now, I'm not sure if there are any, or if you are headed over to India today, be sure to grab your KFC
stick to the one on Tillotson.
Yeah, you know, me too.
Go get your chicken tenders and then go get your drone right after
Save
that.
you a little bit of money.
Can we start a petition to bring that to America,
Yeah.
though? Like, I think, you know, these KFC should be bringing that to the United States. Some drones, just have drones flying around everywhere.
Tell us on Twitter if you want it here in the Americas.
I want it. I'm saying that right now.
I think it'd be really cool to have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It'd be very fun.
Well, moving to the music world, if you've been dreaming of seeing Elton John jam to Benny and the Jets live, your last opportunity may be on the horizon. The world-famous musician announced today his 3-year farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. It is set to start in September of this year and will feature 300 dates around the world. The singer wanted to make it clear that he's not quitting music, but that it will be his last time touring and traveling the world, promising, quote, "It will be the best production I have ever done." And guys, rumor has it he will be stopping in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I did see that.
So, some exciting news for
although
Indiana.
He's not, the Indianapolis date's not on his website. I actually went and looked to see
Not
how
yet.
close he was.
I don't know if he has all the dates finalized yet. So
Okay.
hopefully Indy will get added to that. That'd be some good news for Indiana.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
really good.
I would like to see him. I know that.
Get the Cardinal WX group to go. That'd be
That'd be
little
a great
field
time.
trip.
All right, we'll
kind of talking a little bit about music.
Yeah.
The 60th Grammys is actually this Sunday in New York City at Madison Square Garden.
That'll be a fun
and
time.
I love the Grammys. It's one of my favorite award shows. I don't know about you guys. I absolutely love music.
You're a big music fan.
I
so that-
am,
that
yeah.
makes
I love
sense.
music. Yeah, but so I just kind of wanted to take your guys' poll and see what you guys were thinking. Who's going to win? Who was your favorite artist this year?
For me, John Bellion, but I don't think he was nominated for anything.
I don't believe that he was. I'm looking at the
Which is sad because
nominations
I was looking
here.
forward to seeing him at the Grammys.
How about you?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm a big Ansel Elgort fan, and you know his music is fantastic, but I don't think it's going to be up for any Grammys. So
Ansel Elgort.
I'm with you on that
he
one,
is more
Tanner.
of an actor.
He is an actor, but he has some great music.
I've heard some of his music.
Some fantastic music.
Billy,
I'll have to look into that.
I love it, and he's get Ansel nominated for 2019.
Hashtag.
It would be.
Hashtag get
we'll
Ansel
get that going.
nominated.
I want Ansel nominated for a Grammy in 2019. We'll get that going.
Okay, but kind of going through the nominations. First up, Album of the Year. So we have Awaken My Love, which is by Donald Glover, 444 by Jay-Z, 24K Magic by Bruno Mars. I know that's a crowd favorite. Melodrama by Lorde, and then Damn by Kendrick Lamar. Which do you guys think is going to win?
Bruno.
I would say Bruno. See, you can never tell like with the Grammys. You can always tell with like the People's Choice Awards because like it's usually the most popular person wins.
Yeah.
But I'd probably say Bruno too.
The Grammys look into the more artistic side. They want,
Yes.
They want to see the music. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm gonna pull for Bruno though.
All right, next category.
I would definitely be voting for Bruno. Next category is Song of the Year. We have 1-800-273-8255, which is the suicide prevention song by Logic. Issues by Julia Michaels, That's What I Like by Bruno Mars. Despacito, the remix by Justin Bieber. And then 444 Again by Jay-Z. Which do you guys think?
I would probably say the suicide prevention song. That I feel like that one will win.
It had such a positive impact. It brought such a alertness to such a issue that I think it had a good impact, and that would be really cool to see that song win.
I agree completely. And once again, Grammys, the 60th Annual Grammy Awards, they are on January 28th at 7:30 in Madison Square Garden. It's going to be hosted by James Corden.
Make sure to tune in.
Looking forward to that. And finally, turning now to this, an unfortunate accident at a high school basketball game in Kentucky. A referee got a little bit more than just complaints about a call. An errant pass hit him in the head and knocked off his toupee.
Oh, no.
He quickly put it back on during the stoppage of the play when the ball went out of bounds, but that's not your everyday folly. This made it to the number one spot on ESPN's Not Top 10 Plays of the Week.
You know, I gotta put that on the ref. If you're gonna be running up and down the court, there's a ball flying, like that's just bound to happen eventually. As bad as you feel for him.
Just glue it down.
I don't really feel badly.
All right, well now guys, for one of my favorite segments, weather history. While it's expected to be unseasonably warm here in Muncie today, that was not the case back in 1938 at Niagara Falls. The falls froze over, one of the largest ice backups in history. Crazy stuff here as you see massive chunks of ice, some actually walking on the ice. I don't know, I don't think you'd catch me walking over a frozen waterfall, but I won't have to worry about that today as temperatures, as I said, are expected to be well above freezing. Ballant has more with our local weather. Ballant.
Well, that's right, guys. Warmer temperatures, and I guess I accidentally loaded the wrong show here on the forecast. We're going to switch it over to national weather, it looks like. So really, throughout much of the nation, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 30s into the 40s. Down south in Dallas-Fort Worth, 52 degrees, the warm spot. Even LA sitting at 52 degrees, so it's a bit chilly for them out there. 47 degrees in Kansas City. However, as the day progresses, we're going to see highs work their way up, and you can see that southerly flow working into much of the eastern Great Plains into the Ohio River Valley. 49 the forecast high for Cincinnati. Kansas City, 57 degrees, and that's going to work its way further east as the day progresses. Then following behind that, you can see these cooler temperatures working their way in. So with that cold front that I was talking about earlier in the show, that's going to work its way through this weekend, allowing for these colder polar temperatures to work their way in. So 34 the high for today in Billings and 37 in Denver. And some watches and warnings across the nation. We have a red flag warning throughout parts of Colorado into Nebraska. That's areas where temperatures are relatively favorable with low moisture and high winds, and that's favorable for fires to develop. There's some high wind advisories further out east. Then farther up north in the Pacific Northwest in the Cascade region, some winter weather in effect there, so some winter storm warnings and winter weather watches. And throughout much of the eastern portion of the United States, not much going on. And then here are the snow showers working their way through the Pacific Northwest right now, followed by some rain showers. And then here's that front that's going to work its way through much of the eastern portion of the United States by Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. So we'll see a day or two, or just a day and a half, I guess, of clearer conditions before that rain returns back into the area.
All right, Ballant, thank you. A favorite off-campus spot has been closed all school year, and we'll tell you when you can expect that to reopen.
And a rare photo gallery is on display right here in our own backyard. More on that after your weather now.
You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
And welcome back. You're looking live at the Scramble Light. Beautiful conditions outside. Meanwhile, back in here, more than 4 months have passed since a Muncie Dairy Queen caught on fire. Owners of that store say the location may not be open for another few months.
From Bethel Avenue, it looks like a typical Dairy Queen. But travel around to the back of the building and you'll see charred fences, burnt walls, and the remnants of what was once a walk-in cooler.
Haven't experienced anything like that before.
The fire broke out on Labor Day. The owner was out of town at a golf outing.
It all started when a faulty circuit breaker caught fire in the northwest corner of the building. That's when owner Matt Anderson got the call.
My wife called after I teed off on the third hole and told me the DQ was on fire.
The Bethel Avenue Dairy Queen is Muncie's hole-in-one, as it's the district's busiest location. Anderson says that between 150 and 200,000 people eat there each year. That includes a large number of Ball State students, as it's the closest store to campus. Ball State student Sydney Barkdole says that it's out of the way for some students to travel to the other locations.
There's another one over on McGalliard, but it's like kind of far away, and people who don't really leave campus that much, it's kind of like a hassle.
Now the looming question among some students is, when will the store reopen for business?
So yes, the plan is to open as soon as possible, and hopefully that is this summer.
For now, the Bethel Avenue location's building remains empty, and the drive-thru is carless, as Muncie's favorite Dairy Queen waits for repairs.
Well, we look forward to seeing that get up and running again. Meanwhile, Ball State University and the University Police Department have taken measures to slow drivers down on campus. And if you've been driving around campus yourself, they've probably grabbed your attention.
Slow down. That's what Ball State and the University Police Department hope drivers will do when traveling on campus, thanks to the addition of 4 strategically placed radars.
One in University, coming towards Burris right before there, after the hospital garage. One on Riverside at Cooper, and then the 2 on McKinley, one coming north and one coming south.
Having been in place since November, the radars are already making an impact to slow drivers down before they reach areas on campus heavily populated with foot traffic.
We wanted to, certainly on McKinley, set them up before people got into, if you would consider, like the academic corridor from University going north and up by Johnson coming south, which gets us right into that residential halls and then the Bell Building and all that. So that really, 20 miles an hour is still pretty quick with all the pedestrian traffic there.
Adrian Thompson walks on campus every day and feels that the radars keep drivers aware.
I really never had so much problems with drivers, going fast on campus and almost about to hit me, but I definitely would say it definitely raises awareness.
And Chief Duckham stressed that it's not only drivers that need to be more alert when on campus, pedestrians also need to be more aware of their surroundings. He recommended using the designated crosswalks when crossing the street and to have students take out one of their headphones at least when walking around to be more alert.
Turning now to a nature photo gallery that's on display at Kennedy Library. The 15 rare Indiana finds photos were chosen from over 90 submissions and were picked by 3 judges, including Ball State biology professor Timothy Carter. Carter said he enjoyed going through all of the submissions and looked for more beyond just the requirements of the contest.
Also looking to see, the artistic nature of the photographs, the uniqueness of the photograph, the capturing of the subject, and obviously the technical aspects of it, so a whole suite of different things. It's actually very difficult to try to narrow them all down because there were so many amazing photographs.
The exhibit will be on display until January 31st, and now Ballant has a look at your local weather.
So if you guys are a fan of above average temperatures for this time of year, you're in for quite the treat today, as we're going to see temperatures work back into the 50s for today. Right now out the door here in Muncie, 39 degrees. That sun finally rising above the horizon line. We did see a beautiful sunrise this morning. I wish we had the proper camera equipment to illustrate just how nice it was. Those winds south at 11 miles per hour, making it feel like 32 degrees here in Muncie. Elsewhere across the state right now, current temperatures 39 degrees in Bloomington, 36 degrees in Terre Haute, and then down southeast in Cincinnati sitting at 34 degrees. However, when we do factor in those wind chills, it does feel a little bit colder outside. Just feels like temperature of 28 degrees in Shelbyville. In Indianapolis, it feels like of 24. And then for the past 24 hours, temperatures are continuing to rise well above average. Already 12 degrees warmer in Shelbyville and 9 degrees warmer than this time yesterday in Indianapolis. And then for the morning commute, we're going to go ahead and give that a green light. It's because those clouds from the overnight are going to work their way out, spoiling us with plenty of sunshine through the morning commute. By 9 a.m., 38 degrees, then working back into the 40s already by 10 a.m. So plenty of sunshine in store, and that's going to continue through the entire forecast for the day. By 4 p.m., a high of 54 degrees. Note these winds are going to start to pick back up, 17 miles per hour south-southwest. Those southerly winds are important for the next upcoming few days, and that's because that's allowing warmer temperatures into the region. For tonight, though, temperatures are going to drop down to an overnight low of 45 degrees. Rain's going to work its way into the region late overnight into the early mornings heading on into Saturday. So with precision cast here, by 1:30 in the morning, you can see some partly cloudy to mostly cloudy conditions start to set in, a thicker cloud base following behind that. That's going to work its way through, and then those isolated showers start to work on in within the overnight hours. And then for the next several days, temperatures are above average currently for Saturday and Sunday in the 40s, dropping back down into the lower 30s within the next several days. And then for the 7-day forecast, we're going to skip ahead here just 2 slides. Rain chances returning for Saturday, and then into the next 7 days. Temperatures are going to be dropping down back below average into the 30s, and then quite a roller coaster for the midweek, back up into the 40s and dropping down to 27 degrees by next Friday. And then coming up, we'll one final look at weather coming up after this.
Welcome back. Just before we wrap up, we're going to take one final look at weather.
Well, hopefully, I got that 7-day forecast finally figured out. I was having some computer issues there. So let's go ahead and throw that 7-day forecast back up. You can see those rain showers will work their way back in starting Saturday. They might stick around through the early mornings into Sunday. Then temperatures are going to drop as that low pressure system works its way through. So by Monday, we're back below average with temperatures in the 30s. Then quite the roller coaster ride for the latter half of the work week. Windy conditions with highs in the upper 40s for Wednesday, and then dropping back down all the way to 24 degrees by next Friday. So quite the roller coaster there in that 7-day forecast.
Yeah, sounds like it, Ballant. Thank you. And before we wrap out, we just want to mention, hit us up on Twitter about your predictions for the Grammys this weekend.
That is correct. I'm excited.
Yeah, very excited. All right, guys, that's all for us this morning on Cardinal Weather. Thanks for joining us.
And in the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and have a great rest of your Friday and weekend.